big part of the startup news cycle are funding announcements. Not a day goes by that you don't see a funding announcement by a startup or this being covered in the media. And of course, if you are a startup or you have a startup, I don't think you are a startup. Anyway, side note, if you have a startup and you raised some funding, you raised some funds, first of all, congrats. Well done. This will probably help you expand way faster than you otherwise could have. And secondly, it's probably wise to do something with the media, with your funding round. And I spoke to many companies and I've done many funding announcements for startups and scale-ups. And people always tend to reinvent the wheel when it comes to funding announcements. And I love a bit of reinventing the wheel, but this is not the time. If you want to communicate your funding round, there are very easy templates and things that you just need to stick to and you will make it work. On Pioneer Academy, we have all these templates and we really guide you through how to prepare for your funding announcement, how to write your communications, how to follow up, how to train your spokespeople, etc. But if I need to give you a couple of tips, there are just very clear things that you need to mention in your press release and in your communications, and they're not that difficult. They're very simple. First of all, what did you raise? What's the amount you raised? And more importantly, why is this significant? With all due respect, if you raised $1 million, that's amazing, but check the newspapers and read what stories they cover, what funding rounds they cover, and what their minimum amount is of what they cover. Of course, it can still be an interesting story, but then don't write it from the we did a large funding round perspective, but try to find another angle. Secondly, whom did you raise it from? Are there very newsworthy investors in your round? Sometimes these are very well-known entrepreneurs or well-known VCs. Make sure that you cherry pick from your round who's the most likely to be covered, if you will. What will you use the funding round for? Because it's amazing that you raised this money, but make sure to include in your communications what you're going to use it for. And try to not keep it super vague, because I see a lot of press releases that they get lost in marketing terms and they talk about how they're gonna scale this groundbreaking product, and of course you can big yourself up a little bit, but make sure that you keep it very factual to what you will use it for. For example, product development, expansion. Make sure that you use words that actually mean something and are not just empty marketing terms. But most of all, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't try to do it differently than anyone else. Just look up press releases that you've seen online. Look at the trends. They all follow a similar format. There's no need for you to create a whole different one. But if you want to know more about this, you can always sign up for Pioneer Academy. We have all these templates, guides, resources, anything that you need to basically have the best funding announcement ever. And if there's certain things that you're still unsure of, you can always get in touch with us and set up a consultancy call, and we'll make sure that we take you by the hand and tell you where to improve. So hopefully see you there.